Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? This is Joe Figueroa with another video in our series Anatomy of a Dance, where I break down social dancing count for count, pointing out everything the dancers do. This week's video is going to be showing how beneficial hand connections are to a dancer. I've spoken before about the monkey mentality and how to use that to not only string together movements in a turn pattern, but how to also use it to be ready for whatever the lead is going to throw at you. These two have got fists of fury. He's quick, and so is she. So take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell because we're starting right now. Okay, so in last week's video with Mario and Martina, I received a comment. Turns out he was already on my list. Denisse is also on my list, so finding this video worked out perfectly. But I'll be doing more on both of them separately in due time. This is Panagiotis and Denisse. Panagiotis is a dancer and instructor based in Athens. Denisse is a dancer, performer, and instructor based in New York City. So what I like about this dance in particular is how clean Panagiotis' hand connections are, and how responsive and ready Denisse is. I don't know if they danced with each other before, but it doesn't really matter because their meetings have to be few and far between. And yet they can make their partners look like, well, partners. In particular, hand connection. Panagiotis likes to use a lot of hand switching and flicks, where he flicks the follow's hand and swings the arm in a different direction. Not easy to do well. He not only does it well, he does it very quickly. She is so ready that she doesn't miss any of them. The monkey mentality, which is something I refer to in class and have in previous videos, is the thinking that the monkey doesn't let go of one branch till it gets a grip on the next branch. You see that throughout this dance. Look here at the beginning. Panagiotis leads a triple turn for Denisse with his right hand. I'm going to stop here for a moment to show what good turning technique looks like. A lead should use their entire arm, from the shoulder on down, to lead turns, whether it will be a single or multiple. You don't want to use just your wrist. So he leads the triple from his right to her right, gives her a chance to prepare while he picks up her left with his left, raises both hands and begins leading a spin with the right hand that he was using a moment before. But once he has started her off, he let the right hand go after she begins spinning and leads the quadruple spin with the left. Clean. After the spin is complete, Panagiotis switches handhold again, bringing her left to his right. Look closely how he grabs the wrist and then uses that hold to start a flick from the wrist, swinging her arm back and up to seemingly go over his head. But that's just a magic trick. A sleight of hand. What he's doing here is using that moment, that prep, to bring his left across her middle in order to lead the next movement, which is going to be a 360 crossbody lead. Look again. He's tossing the arm but doesn't let go of connection till after he has made contact with her torso. This gives Denisse a clear path. She has no questions as to what's happening because aside from seeing what's in front of her, she dances by touch. She's reactive, engaged, and most importantly, hair trigger. Her reactions to whatever is given is instantaneous. You can see that her eyes are forward, down the line given. She goes by what she feels. That wrist flick was a perfect opportunity for Denisse to begin arm styling through the inside turn. Follows, look at how she elegantly brings her arms up to meet at the wrists and holds the position through the turn. Simple and clean. But it doesn't stop there. Panagiotis replaces his left hand hold with his right hand to her back as she is completing the turn. He sidesteps to the outside of her body to lead the 360 crossbody lead. He's only using one hand, his right, to lead her. And see here that he passes her to his left hand, but once again keeps his hand to her back until he had her hand in his left. That's 4 counts of 8 where there was always at least one point of contact on her at all times. Great technique. Look in this very next section where the couple in the background wave at the camera. The wave catches Denisse's eye, but she still didn't miss hand connection. After leading her inside turn to her left, Panagiotis breaks right for his turn, brings her left hand down and switches it from his right to his left, and then immediately behind him switches it back to his right. His intention is another inside turn, so as she is passing him to go into it, what does he do here? He raises his left hand up to her eye level. Even distracted by the waving couple, she keeps her hands in neutral position, ready for what's next. In fact, she's noticing hand movements from the guy waving, like she was about to give him her hand. See what I mean? Hair trigger. Panagiotis begins the turn with his left, her right, but notice that he doesn't let his low lead, his right hand, go until after he has already begun her turn with his left. Even coming out of that inside turn, they are both distracted by the couple waving, but it doesn't stop either of them from displaying great social dance technique. Panagiotis raises his right hand to her eye level once again to lead a triple spin. Okay, lastly, check out this sequence here. It begins with him leading a simple progressive turn for Denisse. He has her right in his left, raises his right to her eye level. She gives him her left hand. Once he makes that contact, he lets her right hand go but places his now free left hand to her back as her turn begins. This has a purpose. So he let her hand go at the middle, likely knowing that she would leave it there in neutral position. So he could begin her turn, but then pick the hand up right where he left it after her body passes through. The same concept as a touch and go, something you may be familiar with. After picking her right up again, he raises it up right in front of her face, putting them in a left hand's crossed over right hand's position. From there, Panagiotis begins a barrage of hand flicks and switches, which I'm not even going to attempt to break down. But I will point out how every switch is first met with a point of contact, so he had no problem executing it. It might look like choreography, as if they worked on it together, memorized it, and executed it, but I assure you, they didn't. He's just that good at quick hand switches, and she's just that good. It's almost like watching a kung fu movie. As I said, the entire dance displays these techniques. I've had the pleasure of dancing with Denisse before, so I know what she can do. Panagiotis and I have not yet met face to face, but I'm sure one day soon we will. When you watch these videos, realize that most of these are situations where the dancers know each other, but are coming together from different parts of the world. Sometimes meeting for the first time on the dance floor. That's what made me start teaching. I remember being at the Puerto Rico Salsa Congress in 2000. My first Congress. Till then, I thought salsa was done in New York, Miami, LA, DC, and a little bit in Philadelphia. Then at the Congress, I saw people from Korea, Japan, Germany, England, Australia, everywhere. On my second night there, I saw a young lady from the Korean dance team that performed that night. She was still in her performance outfit, but on the social dance floor. I worked up the nerve to ask her to dance. I think she knew 4 words in English: yes, no, hello, and goodbye. But it was 4 more words than I knew in Korean. So we hit the dance floor, and lack of language communication went out the window. We were dancing, and because of it, speaking the same language. Communication with no words. That dance is what made me start teaching. I can't think of a better way to make a lasting connection than this. That's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already. See you in the next one, and remember, keep dancing.